I have a story for you, bro.
Got a story to tell.
I've got a story to tell.
Yeah.
Another story about my ex. I told you, you're like the wise young uncle that I come to.
Who's 2 years older than you.
Older.
I'm 2 years older than you.
You know, so must have been 2021, right?
Yeah.
I bought my first car, right?
Yeah.
What's Renault
Sandero.
Sandero 2016.
Yeah.
Right. So I Facebook market, right?
Okay.
Private seller.
Yeah.
So I see the pictures. The car looks. What is that Afrikaans word? Splendor Nive.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the outside.
Yeah.
I send him a message. I'm like, yo, I'm interested in this vehicle. Is it still available? It's like, yeah, sure, it's available,
Yeah.
right? So we start communicating. He tells me he's all the way in Pretoria.
Okay.
There was a guy helping me at the time. So apparently he had a lot of knowledge and skills when it comes to cars.
Yeah, I know him.
Evaluating vehicles.
Yeah.
So I forward him the pictures, right? Okay. Like, oh no, this looks like, because we've been searching like for a while before we eventually got that one.
Okay.
So we drive all the way to Pretoria.
Yeah.
When we get there, the guy shows us. So the guy, so what they do is they cars that have been involved in an accident.
Okay.
They get them from your SMDs. So everyone knows SMD is like an auction house.
Yeah. Yeah.
They get them there, right?
Yeah.
So it was a fix up. Basically.
Okay.
Right. I think I get it for a reasonable price. You know? Like I know it's decent. Even when you're driving it, you know, it's a decent car. The turbo is still intact.
Yeah.
Turbo is still performing.
Yeah.
Everything. You
Yeah.
know? But obviously, man, you can tell by the time.
It's not 100%.
It's not 100%.
Yeah.
When you open the boot, you couldn't open the boot from the outside. You must be. You must go.
All right.
You must go inside to pop the boot open.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's more. That's like minor stuff.
Yeah.
Right? As long as the engine is good, we buy the car, right?
Yeah.
I will drive you. Although we drive you, right?
Yeah. So we've got the papers, everything.
We get the papers, everything.
Yeah.
I was very skeptical at first.
Yeah.
You know, we do the whole deal close to a police station, whatever the case may be. 2-3 days later, I'm parked outside, right?
Yeah.
Here at church.
Yeah.
We practice it.
Yeah.
It starts raining. Heavy. It's raining. I'm not paying, like, obviously, no matter how, you know.
Yeah.
It's time to go home. Brother, volume on. Yes.
There's water everywhere. Yes. So it was as if your windows were open.
Yeah.
It was as if
I'm even shocked. I'm like,
where's the water
maybe
coming
someone
from?
left the door open.
Yeah. That's how much water there was.
That's how much water there was, especially on the passenger side.
Yeah.
I tried to get the water out. To cut the long story short, I'm like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm selling this car.
Yeah.
So I sell this car through. It's called duped.
Okay.
Right. So obviously they come check out, evaluate. I tried to sell it to We Buy Cars.
Yeah.
But We Buy Cars, they were like, how long have you had the car? I'm like, just a month.
Yeah.
Not even a month, like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Like, no, we can't.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, sharp. They give me a third party. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, try these guys.
Yeah.
I tried them. Sure, the guy comes through because really they buy like bargain cars or cars that have been involved in
Okay. All
sometimes
right.
even non-runners.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, sharp. If so, the first thing I don't know, he pops open the bonnet.
Yeah.
Right, checks the first thing. Like, okay, so this is a code 3.
Yeah.
Code 3 car. So code 3 means the car has been written off. I had no idea. That's literally a fix up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You it's either you can sell that car to someone else, but you can't sell that car to a dealership or whatever the case may be. But now my beef is that the guy was not honest. The guy said, no, the car was just bumped at the back.
Yeah.
Hence the boot does not open from the back. He had to fix up the boot and respray the car. Dude, that guy from Go Beat, he gets there, he pops open the bonnet.
Yeah.
First thing he says, like, no, man, this is a code 3. We test drive it.
Yeah.
Luckily, the engine was fine, the thing was fine.
Yeah.
So I had to sell that car less, so it was a loss. I didn't make any profit from that car. Less to what I bought it.
Just to get rid of it.
Just to get, because I'm a company.
It goes to
Just to get rid of it.
Yeah. Yo.
And you know, it's funny, we when we started this podcast early in 2021, we had this conversation
on what to look out for.
What to look out for and why you should never, or not that you should never, but why you must try your best to go through the dealership. But now here's another thing. Right? So there was someone from here at church, a female, right? So she was looking for a car, right? So an agent was helping her to like get a car. Okay. So they find the car. They love the car, right? It's a BMW. Okay. This is 1 Series.
All right.
They find the car, everything. This is a dealership. Right? They get the car. The guy goes with the agent. Obviously, it's about my picture. Top notch.
Looks nice.
Top notch. My picture. They go to the dealership, BMW. Was it BMW or a third party? I don't remember. But it's a dealership, by the way. They go to the dealership. The dealership guys, they say, no, this car has never been involved in an accident, whatever the case may be. When the guy is evaluating the car, he finds out that the car has been involved in an accident. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, okay, cool. Then obviously it's a second-hand car, but then what's the best way to go about it? You know what I'm saying? Because if dealerships can scam you or not be honest and say the car has never been, and how many people have bought cars that have been involved in accidents but they
without them knowing.
Without them
knowing. A lot.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot.
And that's why we're talking about this. Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to Uncensored _ the truth about money. Thank you so much for joining us. We truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking your time just to listen to us. So we're talking about vehicle financing, right? And this is a topic we once covered when we started this podcast, but it was audio. So we thought, why not bring it back and get more meat out of this, you know? So I'm with the cool Uncle T.
I'm growing older by the episode. Financial expert, I'm uncle.
Financial guru.
Soon I'll be granddad.
How are you doing, bro? Thumbs up.
I'm great, man. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. It's good to have you on the show.
So you were scammed once again. You know what's in Lilibuzo about Pambil? You're the perfect person to be here. You speak from the heart. You're like, I know what I'm talking about. I think I've earned this. I know, that's good, man. That's good. At least you can school people out there what to look out for.
Not to make
it's real.
I mean, I'm scammed when it comes to money. I'm scammed when it comes to bank.
Let's hope we don't get scammed when it comes to houses.
Now, feeling unbanned.
No. Chilled, relaxed. It's good to be here. It's a nice topic, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a nice topic.
It's close to your heart, cars.
And finance, so it's good.
What was your first car?
First car that I owned?
Yeah.
It was a Toyota RXi.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is this the one that you blew the engine?
No, that was my dad's car.
How do you blow an engine?
Hey, my man, it was water, man. Hey, we don't look at the basics. Didn't look at the basics. You know, rushed. I don't know what happened. Also, he came home. So he had 2 cars. So he came home with that car, and then I was about to use it, but I did not check the oil. Then I just sped off because I was late for like an appointment. I can tell there was no oil in the car.
Yes,
I just said, engine gone.
Yes.
Bearing knock. Then I had, so I had the RXi. Yeah, so that was my first car. Also rebuilt as well.
Is it?
Yeah, I bought it smashed.
Yeah.
In Pretoria, got it to some people, fixed it. They fixed it well.
But at least you knew what it was called.
Yeah, no, I knew. Cut and joint, everything. But if I had to show you the pictures, it was good. But then got written off again. Then tried to fix it. Yeah, long stories. Long stories, my man. So yeah, buy a new car. If you can afford to buy a new car, buy a new car.
That's why we're here. So I think my first question would be, considering my story and the other story that I told you about the person wanting to buy a car from a dealership, what should one consider when it comes to buying a vehicle?
So buying a vehicle, obviously, like there's a lot of people out there who are not clued up, who are not into, let's say, cars.
Yeah.
So when I mean into cars, they don't know if a car has been resprayed or not, if a car has been bumped, if a car has rolled, all of these small things that you can look out for. And it's not necessarily a guy thing, because my sister's clued up on those things, right? And my wife is not so clued up. So I won't say it's a guy thing, but when going to go buy a vehicle, especially a second-hand vehicle, right, I think it's better to be accompanied by someone who's a car expert or a mechanic, right, who can tell, listen, this car's not the good car for you. Even when they test drive it, they can say, okay, this rattle is going to give you problems within 6 months. Because salesmen are salesmen, man. Like with your story, no, it was bumped on the back and nothing wrong. When you come out and there's water in your car, like, hi man, how did you get here?
My car is not a boat.
With second-hand cars, let me tell you something. With second-hand cars, when something breaks and you take it to the mechanic, they always find something. Yes. They're like, boss, this car, it's been in this and that and that. So you can only know your car when you tear it down. You know what I'm saying? When it's a second-hand car, because you can't know everything, right? Like, so I bought a second-hand car, the one I've bought now. Also from a dealership. Took it, all right, chap. As I get out of the dealership, it's raining that day. How aircon doesn't work. What's happening now? You imagine, you just got out of the dealership, like, how, my daughter, what's happening? What's happening now? How? Yeah. I know, sorry, the module is broken, what, but they were able to fix it at their own cost. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you took it back.
Yeah, then I realized, hey man, you open the glove compartment, okay, sharp, there's slips on service histories. And they're even showing you when you're buying the car, this car was serviced well, everything was fine. And then when you look at the slips, you're like, no man, but it doesn't make sense. The invoice numbers, let's say for example, this invoice number, it's written 2021. The invoice number is number 10. This one is 2022, invoice number 11. And you're like, but what happened here? So in a year, these people haven't received any business.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's only my car that they've been servicing. No, something. And then they say, no, it's they change. I get it on the receipt, right? We change how many spark plugs. So my car uses 5 spark plugs. So there they say 4 spark plugs, this and that. You're like, no, but you only realize this after you've bought the car. I get it now, the excitement is settled, and now you're like, okay, let's check what's happening here. And you're like, man, this, that. You're like, man, check what's happening here. You know what I'm saying? But at least I was able to go back to the dealership and say, guys, this was not sold properly, complained about it, and they were able to fix it. So that's what's important when you're buying a car. If you're not car versed, if there is such a word, go with someone who is clued up with cars. My best take, go with a mechanic who you trust. Say, in fact, there's a car that I saw, let's go see it.
But it's quite tricky if you have never owned a car. If you have never owned a car, you have no reason to be friends or know a mechanic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then who do you take? Like in my case, I took someone, yes, he had knowledge to a certain extent, but I took him because I was told, no, this guy knows his stuff. You know what I'm saying? I took him with, and I was confident in the fact that he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
You know, only to find out later. And look, I don't blame him. It could be whatever happened. You know, it was a mistake, a blind spot from from our side.
That's true.
Both me and him. You know, and when I told him, I was like, "Hey son, why is Simona?"
I don't see it, man. These people, they cover it up so well. Like you like nowadays, there's I remember I went in town, CBD. Actually, your own marketplace, you're like, yes, these cars, they sell for cheap, man.
Facebook.
Like, yeah, like, yo. And it's these weird car dealerships. Abu Jaira, for say, car sales. A&J, Blessed, car sales. And you see the same car on different dealerships.
Exactly.
They're just changing number plates. I'm like, okay, let me go. When I go there, my friend, this car's never been in an accident.
Definitely.
And you're like, okay, I know it's been in an accident. Man. And you're like, okay, how much? No, it's at this price. At the price they sold it for. They're selling it for. Then all of a sudden, okay, Sharp, I start asking him about cars. I get now you're a bit clued up about cars. You start, okay, man, so tell me more about this car. It doesn't know anything. It's just good. It'll take you from point A to B. You know what? There's scammers out there, man. There's scammers out there. So even with some as well, but the thing is, you won't even notice it. With some like smashed cars, right? They clean it up so well. They like Tolowitsi, the airbags have blown out. You won't even see it. Only if you get into an accident, when you're expecting the airbag to come out, nothing. When you check, there's no airbags on the car. These things have been taken out. You know what I'm saying? So it happens, it's real, it's out there. There's another lady, she bought I think mine's the CX-5. Beautiful car, looked very nice. Also very affordable in the CBD. Get there, Sharp, take the car. But the following day, there was just lights. Every light that you can imagine on the dashboard came out, man.
It was a Christmas tree.
It was a Christmas tree. The car was like the smoke coming out of the air vents. Imagine. But the car looked clean. There was some wiring issues. These guys did that and that.
And these guys work on the cash system.
Cash. Installments as well. These guys are good, man. They'll get you approved. I don't know how, but they will get you approved.
Can you sue though?
Who are you gonna sue?
Them, should that happen.
Yeah, you can sue them, but that's gonna be difficult, man. That's gonna be a lengthy process. It's gonna be yes, you can sue them, but if it's a reputable dealership, then it's easier. But with these ABC car sales,
but I've also heard like, I'm not sure if we should say the name. But the biggest car dealership, I think right now, it's not really, is it a car dealership where you bought your car?
Yeah.
It's a car dealership. It's the biggest in the country right now. So I went on their page and I saw like a lot of comments. That, because obviously they claim that they are transparent. So when you go on their site, click on the car, they tell you every fault about the car. I've seen complaints where apparently the clients or customers were saying that we were not told about 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I bought the car today, tomorrow the car stopped working and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So in that instance, then are you able to like sue?
Yeah, you're able to complain.
Is it?
Yeah. So
complain to them.
To them, yeah. So they've got a complaints department. So some people are fortunate enough for that company to fix their cars. I was fortunate enough because someone's like, don't buy your car there. These guys, yes, they are cheap, but I had a good service from them. I told them, guys, this is what the salesperson said, and this is what I found in the car. Because I picked it up like within days of driving the car. And then they were like, no, it's fine. Just take it to your closest workshop. And let them check the car, and then they can replace those things. So they were able to replace those things without me paying any money. But yes, it is true. There's been complaints out there. The thing is, the volume that those guys sell cars at, you know what I'm saying? There's bound to be complaints and compliments. But the compliments aren't as much as the complaints, you know what I'm saying? So, so with that being said, yes, there are complaints. Like with any other dealership, like you with the story you were telling now. I mean, you go to a BMW dealership to go buy a 1 Series. You're expecting, BMW. I can drive this car from here to Cape Town and back. You know what I'm saying? Just from the floor. But then you find with no man. Actually, this car was in an accident. I can't even drive to Midland. From here. You know what I'm saying? So there will be complaints out there. It's as if you can afford buy a new car, man.
Timekeeper, how much time do we have left?
Still got
10
a lot
minutes.
of time.
So let's talk about ways to finance your vehicle.
Yeah. So there's different ways in financing your vehicle. Obviously, cash is king. I don't recommend cash. Okay, personally, I don't recommend buying a car cash unless it's reasonable. But if it's at a certain value, like you find people who are like, yeah, man, I bought a 2 million rand car cash. For me, it's not really wise because the moment you drive the car off the dealership, it's lost like 20% of its value. You know what I'm saying? So it's worth maybe 1.6 million. So it's not worth it, right? But obviously, okay, there's cash. Then there's your installments. So nowadays they come in 60 months or 72 months, all right? So that's either 5 years or 6 years, okay? Which is the normal one, so that's a traditional one. The most popular one that's arising now due to affordability and being approved is the residual one. So residual / balloon payment, okay? So there's that one there. And then another one that's also picking up that we're seeing the trend also from the States, but it's coming here as well, is the rent to own. And another one, if you have a good credit score and so forth, is buying a car through personal loan. So if you take a personal loan, 100,000 and you go buy a car for that amount, you know what I'm saying, or buying it for 80,000 and using the remainder to fix it. So yeah, those are some of the popular ones.
So now just to back up, how does the balloon payment, because I've seen like, which is like, could be a combination, I don't know if it's a combination or what, combination of, obviously you buying the car on installments, which is what you said, 60 to 72 months, right? And then they would slot in a balloon payment option in there. So how exactly does the balloon payment option work?
So balloon payment is like a deposit.
Okay.
Right. So you only apply for a balloon payment on inception of the car. Yeah?
Okay.
So let's use a typical example. You buy a car for 100,000. So you buy the car for 100,000. You say okay, because you choose the balloon payment that you want, whether you want 10%, 20%, 30%. But they'll give you a cap, right?
Okay.
So you say okay, nangfuna a balloon payment at 20%.
Sure.
So they'll use it as if it's a deposit. So they'll say, okay, you're choosing a balloon payment at 20%, so we'll take off 20,000, all right? And so you are financing the 80,000 rand. So your installment is based on the 80,000 rand. But that's 20,000 rand you paid at the end of the 60 term or 72 month term. So you still pay that lump sum at the end.
So they want.
So basically, it makes you driving the car now affordable. So that's why there's a lot of big cars on the road at the moment because of that. So people go to the bank and say, okay, no, it's fine. Give me the highest balloon payments. Yeah, no, it's fine. I can pay it at the end, so that they can drive the car or get approved. And then, but what now happens that they say, when most of that your term, they say, okay, Junior, we need 100,000. When you didn't save up for that 100,000, you know what I'm saying? And now the bank is like, okay, sharp, your term is ended, but we need that 100,000.
Sure.
So like, okay, if you can't pay it lump sum, we'll refinance that 100,000. So now you get to pay the car for an additional 2 years, 3 years. So you end up paying that installment for like 7, 8 years because of the balloon payment. So the balloon payment you can't run away from. Yes, initially it's fine, but as time goes, it'll catch up with you.
Yeah. So now what happens if you choose? So let's say, after that, whatever 5 years, you get like 100,000 rands balloon payment, and you're like, okay, cool. Now like just have the car. I don't have that amount of money, right? Obviously, then for lack of a better word, they repossess it, right?
Okay.
Are you obligated to pay something after they've repossessed the car, or it's just like a clean walk away?
Okay, let's backtrack. So if, let's say for example, you get to the 5 year term, and you owe them 100,000, that balloon payment, and you say, hey guys, I don't have that 100,000. So I can either give you the option to refinance it.
So let's say you reject that option.
Say I can't, okay.
Yeah,
so then you trade the car in. So you can trade the car in to say, right, can I trade the car in then? So they're buying the car back now.
Sure.
But the car has to be above 100,000 in terms of the market value of the car. So if it's not above 100,000, you have to pay, like if it's at 80,000 rand, you have to pay that 20,000 rand out of your pocket. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, so that's the thing. But repossessing is when you're like, I'm full out, but I don't want anything. So then they go through the legal route of them repossessing the car. But then, then you are in a worse off situation. So then you are blacklisted, you are under debt review, and you still owe something. Because remember, the car's going to get auctioned. And we know you owe that 100,000. But now the car gets auctioned at 50,000 rand. You still have to pay the remainder of the 50,000 rand.
Yeah.
Somewhere, somehow, they're like, it's fine, you can pay 100 rand every month, but the scholar to this is not going away. So repossessing doesn't mean that you are scot-free. It just means that they've taken what belongs to them, but you still have an amount to pay. So rather trade in your car.
Yeah.
So let's say at the end of the period, you're like, no, I can't afford to pay for this vehicle. Rather sell the car. Yeah, I'd rather sell the car maybe privately for 150,000, make a profit out of it. Yeah.
Sure. So now, what's the difference between a variable interest rate and a fixed interest rate on vehicle financing?
Okay, so variable, it varies, so it goes up and down. So that one is linked to the inflation rate. Okay, so you hear, let's say the Reserve Bank saying, okay, we're increasing the prime lending rate,
which they did twice in the space of like a year.
Yeah.
By 50 points.
Yeah, but it's still the thing is what people don't understand is it's still fine. Like we're still okay because it was decreased so low because of COVID, so that people can not be repossessed in Zab and so forth. So it was at its all-time lowest. So now they're trying to get it back to average, but we're so used to levels as 2 years. Now my increase was
and I mean, back then when you applied for let's say a home loan, they said you will pay 5,000 rands, for example. Now, because of interest rate, obviously that price is
like 6,000, 6.5.
But now it becomes a problem when it comes to like, obviously you've gotten the home loan.
Yeah.
Right? So, but now let's say, in terms of your salary, you're still at the same place you were 2 years back.
100%.
Now you have to pay an extra 1.5. Where does that come from?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's why with your variable, it's good to have a variable interest rate. But with the variable interest rate, if let's say about installment tax is 3,000 rand, pay at least 3.5 or 4,000 if you can. That's why it's better for you to do like an affordability check. Some of the time we get paid 10,000 rand, and then you want a car for 4,000 rand, and then there's still insurance. So insurance another 1,000 rand. So half of your salary is going to your car, and then when they say a basis point is increasing by 50, you know what I'm saying? Or the prime lending rate is increasing by 50, it's like, by the 50% jump. Like, no, I can't afford it. But it was based on your calculations. So you basically qualified at the maximum. You're like, I want this car. And they'll approve you, yes. And once you start paying for the car, sharp interest rate, then it becomes a problem. So that's your variable. So variable can go up or down. So next year, if let's say the Reserve Bank says, okay, we're decreasing this. If they're decreasing it, sharp, it works better in your favor that your installment now goes down, right? So if you're fixed, most of the time they're more expensive than your variable because the bank also does not want to be at a loss. They'll say, Junior, okay, we're putting it, let's say your variable is at 3,000 rand. So they'll say, okay, your fixed is at 4.5. So they'll project, look into the future, look into the books, algorithms and all that stuff and say, okay, we're going to put it at 4.5. So whether the interest rate goes up or down, we'll still make money. But obviously it's a risk because what if, let's say, we go to like COVID's interest rates, but now you're still paying that fixed, you know what I'm saying? As opposed if, let's say, you're paying 2,500 rand with your variable one. So but the other thing is that if, let's say, it's a war, Russia is attacking South Africa.
God forbid,
God forbid. Now interest rates are at 20 or 25%, but when are you still at this fixed? You know what I'm saying? So there's pros and cons to both, but most of the time people go for it.
So no matter how much the interest rate may increase, if you choose the fixed option,
nothing changes. So you're still paying that 4.5 every single month, up or down. You're paying that 4.5.
So as a financial advisor, what do you recommend, variable or fixed?
Now I'd say go with your variable. Variable at least, okay, sharp, it's more affordable. It's much less than your fixed. With that being said, then pump up your installments, right? So if let's say your variable is at 3,000 rand, installments up, put your installment at 4,000 rand, and you get to pay the car off quicker, maybe in 3 years or 4 years, as opposed to let's say you're paying that fixed for 5 years, and so you could be saving 500 rand or 1,000 rand every single month. So my thing is go with your variable, but at least put in more than what is expected of you. Yeah.
And then are you almost out of time? Oh, we are out of time. But quickly, are you able to choose between variable and fixed? Are you given that option?
You can. With some institutions, yes, but they don't present it to you. Because remember, with the fixed one, it can put the bank in an unfavorable position. So totally, the interest rate goes very high, or the prime lending rate goes very high, but they are now losing the money. So they won't tell you about it, but it's better for you just to ask. Just say, okay guys, can I get a fixed one so that I just pay a certain amount? I know with insurance policies like my life car, you do get fixed rates, but with your car, they don't advertise it so much. So that's why it's better for you just to inquire about it, and then back to goes, okay, yeah, you can qualify for it and so forth. So, but variables is still the best.
With that said, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate it. Don't forget, we are on Instagram, uncensored_the truth about money, as well as TikTok, where we dance and do stuff.
I don't know about dancing.
Pratam's got a new video out where he's dancing.
You dance.
Yeah, we are. TikTok, we dance, man. TikTok, we are uncensored_financial edu, right? And then don't forget, this video is also available as podcast on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, as well as Spotify. And with that being said, we out. Is there anything you'd like to say before we leave?
Nah, see you in the next episode.
We no longer say our famous slogan. Let us all say it here in studio. 1, 2, 3. Don't forget to do your... what happened?
Lord Shetty. Yeah. Lord Shetty.
Are you for real?